The whispers are getting louder and more insistent. Something is wrong with Bishop T.D. Jakes. But no one in his inner circle dares to speak the full truth aloud. Over the past several months, fans, followers, and even those who once worked closely with the world-renowned preacher have noticed a concerning shift, not just in his public demeanor, but in his physical appearance and behind-the-scenes decisions. Could it be that T.D. Jakes, the spiritual giant who's moved millions across the globe with his words of faith, healing and perseverance, is quietly battling something he refuses to disclose? Insiders claim that the bishop has been noticeably fatigued, appearing weaker during sermons, cutting his engagements short, and retreating from major public appearances with vague excuses. A source close to the Potter's House leadership team revealed that there have been hushed conversations among staff about the bishop's mysterious health decline, with some speculating that he has received a divine warning, an internal message from God himself, that his time on earth may be drawing near. And while T.D. Jakes continues to smile and preach as if everything is fine, those who truly know him say his recent choices tell a very different story. The sudden rise of his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, as the new spiritual torchbearer was not random. It was calculated, planned, and executed with urgency, almost as if he knew time wasn't on his side. Sarah, already a prominent preacher in her own right, has been appearing more frequently at the forefront of the Potter's House operations. From leading key services, to managing charity events, and hosting high-level meetings, she seems to be taking over the reins not gradually, but at full speed. T.D. Jakes made headlines last year when he officially anointed Sarah as the successor to his ministry. But what the public doesn't know is that this wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was a spiritual handover, prompted by something much deeper and more serious than anyone imagined. Those close to the family say that in private moments, Jakes has grown increasingly reflective, spending long hours in prayer, journaling, and holding emotional one-on-one conversations with trusted friends and family members. These actions have all the markings of someone preparing for something, perhaps not immediate, but certainly inevitable. Could T.D. Jakes be hiding a terminal illness? Or is it something even more spiritual? Has he received a divine prophecy about his own transition? According to one church elder, Jakes spoke cryptically about finishing his race and preparing the next generation for a heavier burden. These aren't words from someone thinking in decades. They're words of a man who knows his season is closing. Those who have followed T.D. Jakes for years know he's never been one to seek sympathy, and he's always chosen to carry his burdens quietly, often using his pulpit as therapy, without ever revealing the full depth of what he's facing. But this time, it feels different. During one recent service, he paused in the middle of a sermon, his voice breaking ever so slightly, and said, "There are some things I can't say right now, but just pray for me." The audience responded with thunderous applause and heartfelt shouts, but those with spiritual discernment knew this was a cry for help hidden behind a wall of faith. Even longtime followers on social media have noticed his slower pace, fewer posts, and an absence of the fiery vigor that once defined his preaching. Many are asking, where is the bishop we used to know? Some blame age, others suggest burnout, but a growing number believe it's something more profound. Interestingly, Sarah Jakes has also been unusually emotional during her recent sermons, often talking about legacy, generational responsibility, and the weight of leadership. In one of her latest messages, she tearfully mentioned how her father told her, "You'll have to be stronger than me." Why would he say that now, unless he feels the end of his season approaching? Another curious clue comes from business moves happening quietly behind the scenes. Several long-standing T.D. Jakes enterprises partnerships have been paused or reassigned. Some of the bishop's property interests have been quietly consolidated, and his personal schedule has been cleared well into next year, according to ministry insiders. Could this be part of a broader transition plan meant to ensure that everything is in place should something unexpected happen? And then there's the issue of his health itself. While Jakes has not publicly addressed any diagnoses, some eagle-eyed observers have noticed that he appears to have lost a significant amount of weight, is less energetic in movement, and speaks with a bit more pause and heaviness than before. He often leans against the pulpit more frequently, and has reduced the number of services he personally leads. Some believe he is possibly battling an illness but choosing not to share the news publicly in order to protect his congregation from panic and keep the focus on faith, not fear. This decision, while noble, may also be dangerous. The Potter's House is not just a church, it's a spiritual empire with thousands of global followers. If something were to happen to Jakes suddenly, the shockwaves would be enormous. That's likely why Sarah has been so urgently thrust forward. It's as if the bishop has seen the storm coming, and is doing everything he can to anchor the ship before stepping. Whether or not he ever confirms it publicly, those with eyes to see and ears to hear already know, the bishop is preparing for something big. He's tying up loose ends, solidifying his legacy, and positioning Sarah not just as a preacher, but as the new spiritual matriarch of the movement he built. The truth behind T.D. Jakes' health might remain hidden for now,